All right, guys. Welcome to the second edition of the Trading Alphas podcast slash weekly recap. I'm going to let Ryan kick it off here for you guys with some information about the weekly news, kind of the big things that happen each day, and most importantly, the earnings that happened this week. So take it away.
All right, I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I'm going to start with the summation of the market-moving news. So starting Monday, Monday ended positive on the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ, with gold hitting an all-time high. It seems that precious metals kind of went down a bit throughout the week, but started coming up, ending that downtrend coming in Friday. Then we start with Tuesday. So stocks ended negative with the sell-off before close on the S&P 500 as Feds left interest rates unchanged. But they also promised to keep supporting the coronavirus, anything affected by that. So that kind of led into Wednesday with the big tech antitrust meeting in Washington. I think we're all familiar with that. This called for a rewrite of antitrust laws to adapt to the digital age. In addition to Wednesday, Kodak rocketed, hitting a high of $60 by securing a loan of $758 million to produce ingredients for a coronavirus vaccine. So we entered Thursday, which was a highly volatile day, with a decline in the morning from negative news of GDP decline. So ultimately, by end of day, this would lead to a $7 move to the positive direction, with the catalyst being the good earning reports from Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. That leads us into Friday. So we started with the early morning sell-off. Since we ran up significantly, you typically see a dip afterwards. But ER continuation in the afternoon would lead to the S&P closing positive. So I'd say like the trade of the day was Apple. Shout out to Rig Prince. That closed 10% at the end of the day. So congratulations if any of y'all played that. So a little technical analysis for next week. NASDAQ is still in an upwards trend and bounced off my lower trend line. Dow still looks choppy and has been since mid-June, so still rooish. And the S&P 500 still looks rooish, just waiting for the election, vaccine, and coronavirus to pass over. So I'm going to give a little earnings reports. So just a handful. So Boeing reported a $2.4 billion loss for the second quarter, and it said it plans to slow down production of its main commercial aircraft. I think last week, Clark alerted Boeing puts, so that would have been an excellent play. Still in a downtrend, for sure. Hit a high of 181 on the 15-minute weekly, and ended around 156, 158. So significant dip downwards. So Qualcomm beat third quarter expectations, leading to a 13% move after hours. Another thing, Shopify doubled its revenue from a shift to online stores from coronavirus. Some negative earnings. McDonald's global revenue fell 30% in Q2. Amazon beat earnings expectations. Facebook reported 11% revenue growth. Google beat expectations, and Apple posted a quarterly revenue of $59.7 billion, an 11% increase. So that's what really facilitated the move on the S&P 500. As you can see, yesterday we hit around, I think, 327. So that was definitely a big, significant move. And then today, another wacky day on the market. We, in the morning, we sold off a bit. Looked like we were going to go up, but then we got rejected. Looks like here on the 200 SMA. Continued more to the downside and pretty much bounced off 2150, 2160 around there, which led to an afternoon pump. And ultimately we ended green. And after hours, we're at 327 as of right now on the S&P 500 for any of those who swung.
That's a serious rally from the midday to the end of the day, especially after the drop that we had. I think it's important that everybody, understands or recognizes that the big move today was really driven by Facebook, Apple, Amazon reporting earnings yesterday and absolutely blowing it out of the park. I know Ryan touched on that and gave you the numbers, and kind of the big surprise, I guess, was Google really reporting for the first time. They had a negative year over year It was only about 1.5% in terms of their revenue, but still kind of a big news. And again, the big three there, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, absolutely killing it.
Definitely. All right, that's pretty much it on my end. If you want to,
yeah, are we ready to? Are we ready to do the interview?
Hey, what's up? I was trying to do it on my computer, but it was gonna stupid, so I'm just on my phone.
That's all right. You're in here, and that's what matters. All right, so I guess we're ready to get started. So, Catchy, can you give your real name so that the members know who you are?
I just go by Lamore. That's my last name.
Fair enough. That's all we need. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right into it here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, what you do, your age, maybe, and what got you into trading.
So I'm 21 years old. I'm from Haiti originally, and I moved over here to Florida when I was about 7 years old. Joined the military Air Force right after high school. Uh, that's about it. You need like hobbies and stuff.
All right, just whatever information you want to share with us. You know, we kind of have to touch on some general questions so everybody gets to know you a little bit.
That's the like the basics.
Fair enough. So, how did you get started in trading? You know, what kind of prompted your journey into this?
So originally, I was into investing, not like how people usually um they're like really into it. I've always been told to let your money work for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll just put like $50 into like stash. That's what I used previously. I'll just put like $50 in there, like here and there, just to you know, get some income or whatever. But and then I started option trading when I was at deployment back in November. One of my friends posted on his Instagram like his little Thinkorswim profits. And I was like, oh, what is this about? And all he said was option trading. So instead of trying to get him to tell me what it was, I just went ahead and researched it myself. And then I actually looked up like free option trading trades, like Wall Street Bet. I'd look into there, and honestly I did make good profit there, but knowing that I didn't have that much knowledge into option trading, I lost most of it. So
as most of us do when we start, yeah, that's
right,
for sure.
so I would say I really started trading in March. That's when
This
I joined.
March 2020. Okay.
Yes.
Are there any trades that stand out, whether good or bad, that that are kind of going to stick with you forever?
Well, everybody knows, at least the OGs in the chat, BA. That was my most profitable trade. I made upwards to like 20K just off BA.
That's amazing. Yeah. Have you had any trades recently that have come close to that, or is that still the number one?
That's still the number one.
Awesome. Well, hopefully, we knock that down to number two eventually.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So, what brokerages are you using, or have you used? Where did you start with that?
I first started with Robinhood, just like everybody usually starts with. I then got into Thinkorswim, and now I'm with Webull.
How come you're using Webull over Thinkorswim?
I feel like with Webull, it's more. I always tell you it's kind of like a mix between Thinkorswim and Robinhood, and I just like the layout. And there's a lot of you get news on there. You got that community tab. So yeah, Webull.
Cool. Yeah. Could you see yourself doing this full time, or do you think it's always something you'll do on the side or passively?
Honestly, I already put into plan how I'm eventually going to be getting out of the Air Force in 3 years. So I got 3 years to, get my finances together, and I do want to eventually trade full time.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see you and so many members here go full time. I know a lot of us already have. So it's pretty amazing that we can create a community where, people are able to quit their jobs or bump down to part time and trade full time or part time. Yeah. So, what made you join Trading Alphas? Where did you find us? How did you get into that?
I know, like I said, I was recently looking for a group. It was back when I got home. I got home in like late February. I was looking for a group to join. And at first I was told about Nord Trades, but he charges like like $200 a month. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't want to do that. And then that same friend who told me about that told me about this group. And he said he joined it. It was only $1 for the first month, and then like $30 back then though. Back
Of
then
course,
we
yeah.
have so many members. And so I ended up joining you guys, and I just love the community here. It's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things in my opinion too is the community aspect. I find that to be
Mhm.
probably the most beneficial part to my trading, or the most beneficial addition to my
Right.
trading, is
After
just being
like
able to bounce ideas off each other.
after like 2 weeks, I was like, I definitely want to be in this group
So
full
you think
time.
you'll be with us for life?
I actually have a membership, lifetime membership.
Oh, even better. Then you're not
Yup,
going anywhere.
I'm not going
Awesome.
anywhere.
So I know you touched on your plan a little bit. Do you have any specific goals for the future, for trading in general? Anything that you really want to achieve?
I know short term, at least right now, I just want to touch up on like the basics of option trading, get myself uh fully like what's the word? I'll say fully like knowledgeable as much as I can.
Hmm.
Um, and practice risk management. That's like one of the main things you need to do. Just learning. Right now it's the short term. Future term, move to Texas and trade full time.
Go hang out with Adham.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody wants to go to Texas. Um, is there anything that you find you currently struggle with still, that you're working on personally with trading?
Uh, Again, risk management. That's one
Hmm.
of the main. I feel like that's one of the main things people who are usually new to option trading struggle with.
Hmm.
It's like learning to like hedge, learning to not put all your portfolio in one trade. It's just risk management, really.
Yeah. So, do you have any advice or just anything that you want newer members, even older members, really to hear or to learn about you, whether it's about options trading or just life in general? Any experience advice?
Um, mm, I know I said it a lot. Risk management, as far as option trading, uh, life wise, I don't know, but
Fair
risk
enough.
management,
I think the risk management, like you said, is definitely something everybody can always brush up on and
right,
always adjust.
and
Yeah.
just know like, um, like when we're in a choppy market, cash is king. No,
Hmm.
like you have to trade every day, just certain stuff like that.
Yeah. Great point. Ryan, do you have anything you want to add? Any other questions?
No questions, but I'd like to thank you for your service and any other military members out there. Thank
Of
y'all.
course.
Or
Yeah. I know we have a big military community in
yes,
trading alphas, and one of our leaders too, Nick, and I'm sure he's not the only one. I know John as well. I don't want to miss anybody.
yeah, we do have a lot. I think at one point somebody made like another Discord server for the military members. I haven't
Awesome.
really been in there recently, but yeah,
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for being a standout member.
of course, always.
Thank you very much, Catchy.